Imagine a future where your car drives itself, but you sit in jail for its mistake. This is no longer science fiction, and a world-first verdict that sent shockwaves through Silicon Valley and courtrooms alike. A U.S. driver was sentenced to prison for a fatal crash that occurred while his car's full self-driving mode was engaged. This case isn't just about one tragic accident, it's the moment the legal system drew a line in the sand, declaring that when a semi-autonomous car kills a human must still pay the price. Welcome to the complex, morally gray, and precedent-setting case that answers a terrifying question: who is responsible when the driver is an algorithm? Introduction: the crash that changed everything. On a December evening in 2019, Kevin George Aziz Riyad, a limousine driver, exited a freeway in Los Angeles County. His Tesla Model S, reportedly operating on autopilot, ran a red light at high speed and T-boned a Honda Civic, instantly killing its two occupants, Gilberto Alcazar Lopez and Maria Guadalupe Nieves Lopez. The crash itself was tragic but not unique. NHTSA has investigated dozens of Tesla Autopilot-related incidents. What came next, however, was historic. In 2022, Riyad became the first person in the world to be convicted and sentenced for a fatal collision involving a partially automated driving system. He pleaded no contest to 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter and received a probation sentence, details of which included potential jail time, house arrest, and community service, with formal sentencing pending. This case created a global legal benchmark, setting a crucial precedent for the criminal liability of human overseers in autonomous and semi-autonomous vehicles. The core of the case: why was the human held responsible? The prosecution's argument didn't hinge on the autopilot being evil or wholly defective. Instead, it focused on a fundamental principle: the human behind the wheel is the ultimate failsafe. Key legal arguments. 1. Duty of care. As the licensed driver seated in the driver's seat, Riyad had a non-delegable duty to operate the vehicle safely by relying on a system known to have limitations, especially on surface streets. He was found to have breached that duty. 2. System limitations and driver negligence. Tesla's own manuals state that autopilot and full self-driving (FSD) are driver assistance systems requiring full driver attention with hands on the wheel and eyes on the road. Data from the crash likely showed a failure to meet these conditions. 3. Manslaughter, not murder. The charge wasn't intentional murder, but vehicular manslaughter, implying criminal negligence, not malice. The act of ceding ultimate control to an imperfect AI in an unsafe environment constituted gross negligence. The defense's counter and why it failed. The defense likely argued that Tesla's marketing of autopilot and full self-driving led to a false sense of security, a phenomenon known as automation complacency. However, the law as it stands does not yet allow a driver to abdicate legal responsibility to a Level 2 automation system. Per SAE standards, the machine was an assistant, not a replacement. The legal and technological implications: a ripple effect. This verdict is a seismic shift with far-reaching consequences. 1. For drivers, the end of hands-off trust. The message is stark: you cannot nap, text, or become a passive passenger using driver assist features. Is an exercise in shared control, not transferred liability. Every driver is now on legal notice. 2. For automakers, especially Tesla, a wake-up call. The case intensifies scrutiny over marketing language. Terms like autopilot and full self-driving are now under a legal microscope. Are they misleading? Safety protocols: how robust are the driver monitoring systems? Are they sufficient to prevent complacency? Data transparency: vehicle logs become critical evidence in criminal trials, not just civil suits. 3. For lawmakers and regulators, a call for new frameworks. Current traffic laws were written for human drivers. This case exposes a glaring gap. It accelerates the urgent need for new standards defining legal responsibility across different levels of automation. SAE levels 25. Black box regulations for autonomous driving data. Potentially a new category of offense like negligent engagement of automated systems. 4. For the future of fully autonomous vehicles, Level 5. This case ironically might help true self-driving cars by clearly punishing negligence in semi-autonomous systems. It draws a brighter line for when liability could eventually shift to the manufacturer in fully autonomous vehicles where no human driver exists to control the car. Conclusion: a necessary, painful precedent. The jailing of Kevin Riyad is a tragic story with a necessary outcome. It forces a difficult but crucial societal conversation we can no longer postpone. In the turbulent transition from human-driven to AI-driven vehicles, the law must provide clarity. This landmark case establishes a critical interim rule until the technology is perfected and legally recognized as fully autonomous. The human in the driver's seat remains the captain of the ship and criminally liable for its wreck. It is a harsh lesson that responsibility for now cannot be automated. Key takeaways: TLDR. World's first. This is the first criminal conviction for a fatality involving a commercial self-driving system. Charge: vehicular manslaughter, criminal negligence, not a fault of the AI per se. Core legal principle: the human driver maintains a non-delegable duty of care even when using driver assist tech. Biggest impact: it draws a clear line for semi-autonomous Level 2 cars, warning drivers against automation complacency. Future affected pressures regulators to create new laws and pushes automakers to improve safety and marketing transparency. The road to full autonomy is paved with legal, ethical, and technological challenges. This case is the first major mile marker reminding us that in the driver's seat of progress, human vigilance cannot be optional.